well to get themselves ball deep in Heat territory, and it's Heat who picked the ball up, and there's a stick infringement, and the Heat will look to outlet, and they do that over the press and do it very, very nicely with the overhead, but intercepted. So good interception, played into the midfield, and then there's just no connection from midfield to strikers. Again, good interception from the Rebels, and the cross comes in, and the Heat are lined up well to defend that cross, but it's one back. It's well, we can see the trend right early on. It's a chance and a penalty corner, one for the Rebels. That's their first penalty corner within the first couple of minutes. As I was saying earlier, there is a little bit of a trend here starting within the first couple of minutes, is that there's been a lot of high turnovers, teams winning possession. Maybe it's nerves, just giving it back to the opposition and then losing it again and winning it, and it's these double turnovers as teams who have been put together in the draft as it goes to the first castle. The drag flick comes in, it's low, it's well contended with, and now it comes in again, takes a deflection, and it's a long corner. Teams put together, many of these girls haven't played together, and only had a handful of practices, so sometimes there's a little bit of nerves and miscommunication, and that will get better and better as they play more together and have more time to chat about their structure in team talks. But it's been a good territorial start for the Rebels. They step up on a little bit of a tilt press, and you can just see that they've tilted up there, and that outlet back to the right was cut out, so it just forces the left half to come into the midfield there, trying to look for support, and that can always be a dangerous ball from that left outside half, playing it into the midfield. It's would be an opportunity for the Rebels to capitalize on and to counter-attack pretty quickly. So good play for the Heat as it comes into the midfield, playing out, look for the high strikers. High strikers look like they just a little bit, one or two of them just too high. One's got to lead towards the ball, the other ones might be able to get high. And sometimes you can get guilty of hiding behind defenders, and on AstroTurf it's quite difficult to hit the ball through players, especially at distance, and also on a slow sand-filled pitch, or should I say sand-based pitch. This one, it's quite an old turf at Province Cricket Club, and it's about to be relayed with a water-based pitch from Belgotex, one of the sponsors of CPL 7. So I'm sure everyone by next year will be looking forward to playing on the new pitch. As you know, Western Province Cricket Club have the first A pitch is water-based, and a great addition to Western Province Cricket Club hockey, and also Rondebosch boys hockey, at two water-based turfs side by side. It's only going to improve hockey in this area for club and for schools. So it's the Rebels. They look to set up a deep platform, and they go back into traffic, and it's the Heat that pick ball up and played into the top of the D and turned, and good to turn on the forehand, gets the eyes up, looks for a striker, can't find it, but the right idea from the Heat. Played wide now, and possession retained down this touch line. So working it down the right-hand side is Madison. Hiscock, who is on the right-hand side for this Rebels side. She plays on the outside right half. She started that movement, and now it's ended up on the left-hand side with the Rebels working their way down that left-hand side. People to look to is in this Rebel side. In goal, it's Jessica Pravitt, who's from Springfield, made the South African under-16B side, and then, of course, Jamie Gall from the Western Province under-16A side, also made South Africa under-16A side that recently played against Zimbabwe in a test series up in Johannesburg. And those are players to look out for in this Rebels team. And then in the Heat side, well, you've got Unarine Malada from St. Cyprian's, and she also played in the Western Province under-16 side. As a circle entry comes in, good run, a turn, looks and spins, looks for options, decides to recycle. They won the hit on the top of the D. So Malada is under-16 Western Province player. And then also in goal is McKay DeVette, who plays for the Boyland under-14A side. Also represented them at IPT level. So those are some of the star players in these franchises. Ball play down the line. And that was from Georgia Park. So a little bit of a scrappy affair to start off with, and quite understandably so, as the connection's not made. As I said earlier, teams just trying to not only feel out the opposition, but actually just work out for themselves who's who in the zoo, and where players like the ball, and how they lead, run, and everyone's different, and these sides have been put together. So a good recycled ball. Pattern ball goes out wide into the midfield, nicely stepped and intercepted by the Rebels. And a heavy tackle and good advantage by the umpire. Ball comes in. Now they're looking for Ella Gardner there from Rustenburg Girls. So good carry down to the byline. And that carries by Jamie Gall, number 57 for the Rebels team. As I said, Jamie Gall, South African under-16 player. She's been very prominent in this game, carrying the ball nicely. Ball into the midfield, a turn. Lovely connection. Now, eyes come up, looks to connect again. Good run. This is good play by the Heat, but they just slowed things down and won themselves a hit. Good play from the Rebels, who just slowed things down as the momentum was starting to gain for the Heat. Game played into the D, nicely dealt with by the Rebels. Ball taken out wide areas and to the byline, but it took a little nudge or a little deflection off a striker's stick. So that's why the Rebels retain possession. Now they've just thrown it away down this left-hand side. So 1 minute and some change for this first quarter. 12-minute quarters for each team. It's been quite an even affair. You might think that it's been the Rebels who've had more time up in the danger zone of the Heat and would probably feel more comfortable going into the break. As we've seen in some of the earlier games, and I was doing the game All-Stars versus the Royals. It was the All-Stars that really dominated proceedings for 2.5 quarters, and then it was the Royals that came back from 2-1 down to win 4-2. So as we know in hockey, anything can happen. You can ride out some bad times in these quarters and get yourself back into the game. And by half time, in that particular game, it looked like that it was 1-1, but it looked like the All-Stars were the stronger of the two sides, and they went ahead early in that third quarter. And then it was the Royals who fought back beautifully to get to 3-2, and then they put the nail in the coffin in the fourth quarter. And you'd imagine some of those All-Stars players looking around and thinking, what actually happened in that game? So it's the Heat who are trying to get themselves into this match. It has been a good start by the Rebels, and that's the end of the first quarter here at Western Province Cricket Club B pitch. And it's 0-0 as they go into the break. So welcome back for this second quarter between the Heat and the Rebels in the Under-16 Cup. And now, good fast start for the Heat to work it down that right-hand side. And they look to come back, set up with the pivots and probe down the right-hand side again. One for the Heat, good ball. Now the runners, the Rebels are pretty well organized in getting numbers for the direct route down the middle of the field. The Heat do change their point of attack and then lose ball, and it's the Rebels that have a good run out of defense. So advancing Rebels side. Heat quite happy for them to advance and then to hold their lines. If they play it into the midfield, you can see they're trying to create a pocket. And when the ball gets played down the line, they're quite happy with that because they can step in, they can make it untidy, they can congest space, and then they just win ball back. So good tactics from the Heat. Now it's Rebels. Play it in the midfield, but unfortunately the pass goes awry. Probably the right idea to play it to the left wide channel, but maybe the support play a little bit too close, which narrowed the angle. Got to come from deep. Now it's the run from the Rebels. I think that run was from Sarah Dupousson from TF Milan Hoërskool. Played in the under-14 Western Province A side, but that was a strong run down the middle. What I liked about it is she got her eyes up and looked for the striker up high. Now it's the Heat with a little bit of space to work with, and it's Liana de Villiers from La Rochelle. And finally won by the Rebels. There was some nice work for Liana de Villiers for nice space for her to work with when that ball was thread through. And there she goes again. Gets some support from Adri Hiku. It's a good little passage of play for the Heat. As they spend some time in enemy territory. Or should I say higher up in enemy territory, as they look to get a couple of circle entries. Lost the ball, but the ideas have been right. So forward ball, and it's Gull on the ball now, who uses the support play beautifully. Receives again. Jamie Gull now looking for support from herself. There she does well to turn and look for a player higher up the field. And, Sky Williams, a player that's high. So Heat driving down there again, looking for that long pass to the high striker. You can just see the Rebels have players on that inside channel. They hold that channel very, very well, and it's so difficult to get that ball through. But now they have. The cross comes in, and the penalty corner is won for the Heat. Trying to play it to a high-lying striker hasn't really worked for the Heat because those Rebel players are on that inside. So, and this time they use the wide channel. They get that wide channel, get the cross in, find the foot, get the corner. So better reward for that kind of play rather than a direct play trying to hit it through players. And they've set up two castles, one player short and one player wide to the right. Play to the top, and they go for the flick, and it's stopped on the line. Now the rebound takes a deflection on the post from one of the defenders and just lies around for a second or two. It needed somebody in there on the rebound. Ball played in again. And that's, well, that is well worked. Is that Jamie Gull, who just worked it out of defense so beautifully. And that's when you need your top players, when you're under pressure, to take the game by the scruff of the neck and say, don't worry, I'm here, I'll sort it out, and lead them to safety. The heave-ho down the right-hand side, looking for Matea Hiscock from Kruger Durbanville. So that's Sarah Duperson up front, number 106 for the Rebels. Rebels now, the carry coming down from Sky Williams. And then there's the pass and the infringement. And the infringement coming on Lily Jacobs. Into the cauldron, into the midfield, and nicely in and out. And now the carry again. The Rebels they hold that line beautifully on defense. It's almost if the Heat just run out of space down that right hand side, and if they play the ball inside under the shoulder, there's just players there that could intercept. So again, I've seen some good tactics from both coaches, the Heat and the Rebels. Good platform now set for the Rebels as Heat step up higher up the field. 4.5 minutes left in the second quarter. Both sides now have had a couple of chances. It was all the Rebels early on in the first quarter, but the Heat have come back into this game, and they've been able to create a couple of nice chances in the second quarter. And they go over the top into the wind. Neatly intercepted. I think that was by Olivia Payne, and she's a first-team hockey player from Springfield Convent. Olivia Payne's played first team hockey from grade 9 for Springfield, so a real prospect. When your first team's picking you in grade 9, well, you've got to be good. So, ball played. Again, a little bit of space to work with for the Heat in the midfield, but they go for that long ball again, which is cut out. Gull comes through the middle, looks to connect, gets a beautiful ball through, and the shot comes in, and it's well dealt with by Mika DeVet in goals. She does incredibly well. She came off a line and just narrowed the angle. But what a ball through by Gal. And they've won themselves a penalty corner. That's their second penalty corner. What I like about Jamie Gull is that those eyes came up straight away. She connected very well, and then finding a striker. But it was DeVet that was equal to the task. Penalty corner time for the Rebels. Stop comes in. The dummy runner down the barrel comes in for the far post. And well dealt with again. Mika DeVet, Boerland under 14A player from that hockey factory, Bloemhof. Such a lovely hockey program at Bloemhof, and Mika DeVet is part of that. Two minutes left. Played into the midfield, nicely picked up. It's picked up by Sky Willoughby Williams. And she's got her head down a bit, so she gets herself isolated, but she wins the hit. She does well. Now, she's got some space to work with and gets the cross in. Wins the hit, so Willoughby Smith done very, very well. Sorry, Willoughby Williams has done very well to retain possession. Gal now, as the clock ticks down, is just keeping it up and high. In Heat's danger zone. Willoughby Williams now, and Gal will try connect, and it looks like they just looking to keep the ball down up in their half, and if they got any space they would try and work themselves a corner, but they're also quite happy to run the clock down. Wayward pass, almost intercepted. Players flood in, and they've one ball with 28 seconds to go. Play it into the D. Can they get themselves a corner on the hooter? No, that's defended with quite some composure by the Heat under a lot of pressure. Ball played high and just nicely defended, and that's the whistle for the halftime break. It's still 0-0 here at Western Province Cricket Club. Join us after the halftime break for this game between the Heat and the Rebels in the Under-16 Cup. 0-0. We'll see you after the break. So welcome back to Western Province Cricket Club for the third quarter of this encounter between the Heat and the Rebels. So as you see, it's 0-0. Both sides have engineered a few chances. It's the Heat with the wind at their backs for the third quarter. And Jamie Gall has been probably the most prominent player in both these teams and instrumental in success and any moves with potential to score a goal for the Rebels. So it worked out of the back, and you just see the Heat side retreating somewhat and holding their lines, quite happy just to hold their lines rather than go in and engage and just trying to pick off passes and create pressure from holding those angles well and congesting the middle of the field. And once they pick up off those passes, they're happy to counter. Played out, and it's an unforced error down this left-hand side, so it'll be Heat ball. So it was Arnie Dupree. We've got proceedings underway. Ball's now lost by the Heat, then almost won again. So working it down this left-hand side. So Olivia Payne, first team hockey, also from grade 9 from Springfield. Ball played into this midfield area. Some good 3D skills and possession retained, which is so important. It's Jamie Gall again, who just does so well to retain possession, hold ball up, find a path, and that's how you create momentum and keep possession. So played out wide, Olivia Payne. Ball intercepted now and goes down the right-hand side for the Heat. And it's Anya Malan who's working it down this right-hand side. The overhead is kept in play. It was again Valani Dupree from Palchum who throws that ball into the D. So Olivia Payne trying to work it down this left-hand side. It's intercepted, played into the midfield. Heat lose the ball as it's transferred into that midfield area. Turn now from the Rebels. So nice use of the space. And carry now into that space, looking for that long pass to find a striker. They've done well, have the Rebels, but then lost again and won back. And the Heat look to go direct and long. It looks like it'll be an outlet. It doesn't. Or is it a long corner? It's a long corner. Umpire's just given the long corner. So it was Amy Penny from Rustenburg who started that move from the long corner. Played Western Province under 14A as well. He did Amy Penny. This is better play from the Heat. What a good lead run. Picked up on the reverse stick side. Trying to fire it away, but might have just hit the wrong side of the stick. So the carry now to the left-hand side to Olivia Payne into the midfield. Connection's been made, space to the right, but they decide to go direct and easily contended with by the Heat. Now the carry and the recycle. Olivia Payne again down this left-hand side. Good turn, but ball just running off the stick of Ella Gardner from Rustenburg Girls. Ella Gardner made a nice lead run there to collect it on the forehand, turns nicely, wins possession. Oh, the attempted smash into the D's. Just doesn't come off, but the Rebels will be happy with that because they win possession. So it's played back to Georgia Parr, who's also Rustenburg Girls. She's playing that pivot role for the Rebels. And then the attempted cross, and the minute the ball is missed, it's deemed to be dangerous, as they feel that players are taking evasive action as the stick is being swung. So won by the Heat, and they still retain possession. Ball intercepted now, and this is good play as it comes down the middle of the field, and looking to release and get a hit at goal, but it's nicely defended. Again, what the Heat have done is that they held their line pretty well, but then eventually it finds a foot, and it's a penalty corner for the Rebels. You didn't find too many Heat players flying in on the tackle, but unfortunately an overstretched forehand, and that exposes the left foot, and it's a penalty corner. There it goes. Shot comes in, and almost a deflection on the near post. The Heat look to break out. They win the hit. They win the sideline put in. Coming up to 2.5 minutes left in this third quarter. Still, both sides have not troubled the scoreboard. Turn, pass under the shoulder, easily defended by the Rebels. and possession retained by Sarah Dupuisson. She ghosted nicely into space there to receive a turn, find the foot under quite a bit of pressure. And the Rebels have given the ball away. Unfortunately enough, they've won it in the midfield. Here goes Gall through the middle. Lovely run into the space. Pass is made. Shot comes in. Goal! Well, good connection. And finally, it's the Rebels that get themselves on the scoreboard. A beautiful open play goal. It was Gall who did all the running through the middle of the field and finished beautifully. Just trying to get a number for the goal scorer. It's the Rebels that open their account in the third quarter. 1-0 open play goal. What a mazy run from Jamie Gall. And then to make the connection in the D was done so well. The turn came in. And it's Mikarevet that's beaten. The Heat have struggled to find any meaningful possession and opportunities in this third quarter. They had worked themselves so well in this to get back into this game in the second quarter, but it's the Rebels that'll go into the break 1-0 up, and we'll see you back for the fourth and final quarter after the short break. We're back here for the fourth quarter, and it's the Rebels that struck a couple of minutes just before the quarter break. It was through Sarah Dupuisson who scored that goal. It was a well-taken goal, combining brilliantly with Jamie Gall. So now it's all to play for the Heat. They get it in, and it's a goal. Took a rebound off the keeper and neatly taken goal to set up an epic finale here in Cape Town. took a rebound, didn't it, off the goalkeeper, Jessica Pravitt. And there was a striker lurking on that far post where every coach wants their left high striker lurking, and was able to just roll it in. I couldn't get a number, but the Heat are back in it. It was that run again from left to right that really just offset the defense of the Rebels, and they just opened up that whole channel. And so we think it's Isabella Claassen from St. Cyprian's who scored the equaliser. And there she's on, trying to defend again. But Isabella Claassen in the right place at the right time. And that's exactly what you want from your striker. Get in there off the rebounds. And she finishes well for the Heat. So 1-1 with just under 9 minutes to play. As the game starts to get a little bit frantic and opens up beautifully. Pass down this left-hand side. And down onto the tee, and nicely defended, but there was an infringement. It was Josephine Latham that was running down that left-hand side area. That's a wayward pass, and Olivia Payne can't collect. And the Heat will take a little bit of charity. And then the restart goes through Kaylee Charlton from St. Cyprian's. That's one in the midfield by the Rebels. Plenty of orange shirts just flock into that midfield and make life difficult to go down the direct route, so they recycle, and now the work down the left-hand side. And it's Adrian Johnson. Does well. Gets down that baseline, just looking for a corner is Adrian Johnson from Paarl Valley. Brilliant under 16A player. There again, getting busy down that left-hand side. You've got Kendra Matheson and you've got Adrian Johnson, who are two players that are really working that left-hand side channel well. Now the pass is made to Payne. Back again. Looks for support. Couple of yardsticks. 1, 2, 3. And a bit of recycle ball as they look to go back and maybe get out of the traffic and play to the space. Well won by the Heat. It's still a tussle, and one back by the Rebels. Umpires called them back for an infringement. It was a stick infringement. So all to play for. Just over 5.5 minutes to go in this encounter. Pass down that left-hand side from Adrian Johnson. She tried to do a couple of little reverse stick pop, but umpire says that's dangerous, a little bit too high. Playing into a player. Wayward pass. And Rebel ball. Olivia Payne sets it up. Gets it back. It's through Sophie Lashbrook, Herschel first team player and Western Province, and the 16 player who's in that pivot role. Again, there's Sophie Lashbrook. Plays it out. And, finds her striker. Does pretty well to find the pass on that angle. And now the run from Adrian Johnson down that byline. Gets herself congested and infringes it. Does the ball under 16A player. He'd go over the top and over the press. And it goes out, and Rebals will restart as they ring some changes, bring some fresh legs on as we go into the final 4 minutes. Into the midfield, out. It's Gall trying to connect, just can't find a striker, but they still retain that possession, and now they'll run it at this Heat side. Had they retreated 5 meters? I seem to think so, and it's Heat to win possession. Now ball carried into the midfield. Hit one. Heat must just look to retain possession and work their way forward. Just too many little turnovers that have cost them. Now again into the midfield. Play the direct route in. They still retain the possession of the ball. Turn, the shot comes in. And it's well saved by Jessica Pravitt, who sends the ball to the wide area and over the line. Long corner for the Heat. Now lost, and it's the Rebels that just work their way back to the safety of the corner flag. You would imagine both sides are looking now for a winner. So the Heat now just pushing up with a higher press, forcing the Rebels to go deep with their pivot, and you can see they've pushed up and trying to work their way out of defense, and it's won by the Heat. So immense pressure for the Rebels. They retain possession, but they're just struggling to get out of the pressing forced by this Heat side. Payne on the ball. You can just see the red shirts that converge into that area. She has to go back, and they start to look on the help side. You can see red players come in there again, make the telling tackle. Good play from the Heat. Trying to win ball with this, employing this high press. And it's the Rebels just struggling to get out of their defensive area. Do they throw caution to the wind, or do they take the points for a draw? It's the Heat who look like the ones that were chasing it, but now it's the Rebels that have found a way out but have lost it again. Seconds, precious seconds, tick away. Heat have the ball on the halfway line. They go over the top. It's won back by the Rebels. Just feel like time is running away from both these sides. Still a few seconds, and they go high and long. Scramble for the ball. It's won again by the Heat, taken to the safety of the sideline this time. And They've won themselves the hit, and that's the end of the game here at the Western Province Cricket Club. The Under-16 Cup game between the Heat and the Rebels. It was the Rebels that scored through Sarah Dubuisson from open play in the third quarter, and it was the Heat that struck back through Isabella Klaassen on a lovely goal from close range to make it 1-1. It ends here in this cup game. The Heat won, Rebels won. I've got Misha here, captain of the Heat. You must be happy with that comeback from your team.
Yeah, I'm very proud of my team. For our first match, I think it was quite good. We progressively got better and better with each shaka, and I'm very excited for the tournament.
So you were up against it early on. You probably found the opposition had the better of the early exchanges, but you girls worked back so nicely to get that equaliser.
Yeah, I think we went with the game at the start, but I think we got our heads in the game and we just connected better as a team, and I'm so proud of everyone. Yeah.
The press seemed to work for you so nicely towards the end of the game, didn't it? It's something you started a nice high aggressive press. You put a lot of pressure on them, didn't you?
Yeah, we put a lot of pressure. That was actually the game plan from the start, but I'm glad we got to do it right at the end. Yeah.
How difficult is it to get a whole lot of girls together that don't know each other, have a couple of practices and then have your first match? Has it been tough, or is it just been easy?
Yeah, I think it's definitely difficult, but our team gels so nice, and the practices were so fun, and our practices were so good. We connected so nicely, so it's a very fun tournament. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
Well done on that comeback, and good luck for the rest of the tournament.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you.